is like on a serious note, that once you give the devil a chance to get in, it's hard to get him out. And that one time I went against myself, the foundation of me, it was major. And I allowed the devil in. I allowed that negative entity in, that negative energy in. And thus I started living out my subconscious programming. It was like a switch. That's kind of crazy, right? But we all have been programmed. So have you. Just in a different manner. When did your programming switch? Or when did you switch it off? Because see, mine switched on. Yours may have switched off. Because you've been through a whole lot. And you've been so aware even as a child. And you didn't have the luxury I had of having rose-colored glasses. You didn't have that luxury. You were an empath and you were wide awake. You saw things and people for who they were and how they were. You knew it. You experienced cruelty. You didn't grow up thinking that being beaten was the norm. You didn't grow up thinking that being unsupportive and having to do it by yourself wasn't the norm. You thought it was. But if you didn't, then you didn't have the luxury of having rose-colored glasses. And so that I commend you, because knowing what I know now, if I'd have known that the world was like this at an early age, I really don't know what it would have done to me. Which is why at the age of 18, I thank my parents. I used to write them love letters like I did. I used to write them whole pages about how grateful I was and how grateful I am and thank you for loving me. I didn't even know that what I had experienced was not love. Not in its purest unconditional form. It wasn't. I was on the poor dad end of the spectrum. But I still had my mind, and I still had my will, and I still had my desire to achieve. And so I achieved everything I set out to be, but it was all worldly stuff. It was all worldly. I didn't even know that there was a spiritual path that I could have picked, because I was in religion at the time. I didn't know that there was a way that I could seek God and that God would talk to me if I just listen. Even though pastors say that, they don't give you the keys to do it. And I get it. But then I don't get it for some. And that's just my personal belief. I won't even go there anymore. But yeah, so I'm curious just to see what it's going to be like. Curious. Namaste, Ashe Mazel Tov.